Hi guys, Flake here and you're welcome back to my channel. So today guys, I would like to address the question and concerns I have been having on the video I made about spousal open work permit. So I have gotten a lot of questions on that video and I would like to address it that everybody can see it, and even other people that was not aware of that video can learn from it so that we don't have repeated questions. So I will answer like the personal questions first, then I will address the last question, that is the one that was more like general. We have more than 2 people asking for that same question, so I will address that last because it is not personal and I don't want to be quoted. I want to like give an evidence. I should back that up with a proof. Like I always say, I am not an immigration consultant and I am not a registered immigration lawyer. So whatever I say on this channel that is not my personal experience or information I have from a friend or I search online, I would like to back it up so that you can see things for yourself. And like I always advise also, please do your due diligence. Whatever I say here is not like the final or how it must be, but how it is with me and how I've seen it be with other people. So you are entitled to do your due diligence, and if your opinion differs, there is no problem. Just learn whatever you can learn from this channel and move forward. So thank you guys for always sticking around to watch. So the first question goes thus. Somebody asked about the border we used. So like I mentioned in that video, I think we used the Champlain border. The Champlain border is the closest border to me because I'm in the province of Quebec. I live in Montreal. Montreal is a big city in the province of Quebec, like the major city to be candid. And it's a multicultural city. That is what I love about this place. It is a French province, but very multicultural. And the reason why we use Champlain is because it's the closest to us. So I will advise, depending on the province you are, search for the closest border to you and make sure the border you are going to, which is the closest to you, offer the services that you're going for. There are so many borders uniting the USA and Canada. So like almost every part of Canada has a border that links to the USA. So it has to be the closest to you, the closest to your province that you're going to. It doesn't have to be the one I mentioned. So I only use that because it's the closest to me. So we use the Champlain border, guys. So I'll go on to the second question, which says someone asked if the visitor's business visa is same as the visitor visa. So visiting visa and visiting business visa, as written on that question on that video, is the same. I don't know for other country that maybe they have something like business visa separately, business class or something. But in Canada, when you are coming for business purpose, it's still the same process. It's still under a visitor visa. It's like you are visiting. But you know, when you're applying for your visiting visa, you state the purpose. Are you coming to see a family member? Are you coming as a tourist? Do you want to come for sightseeing or something? So when you're applying as a business person also, you apply for visiting visa. It's the same process, nothing changes. But you state that, okay, you are coming for business purpose. So it's still visiting visa, according to what is online. The third question asks how to prove strong home ties. So I would say we were able to prove our home ties by providing documents like we provided our pay slips. I use my pay slips, my husband's pay slips. We provided our landed documents. So if you have a document back home, it is a good one to use. Is it a house? Is it a land? Whatever things you have like that, you know that can serve as, okay, I have something here. I have something that I can fall back on. I have something that I would like take me back to my home country. I have something that I can look forward to in my home country. Those are the things you can use as home ties. Then we also use, I have a registered business back in Nigeria. So I used my CAC document. I applied, I attached everything. So this is where this information comes in, guys. When you're applying for your visa, there's nothing like too much information. It's better to give detailed and like everything possible. Once it is relevant to your application, give it than leaving some things behind, because you have to prove to the VO, that is the visa officer, that you have something to go back home for. Like there is a reason why you would want to go back home, even though they know that people that comes here Some would want to stay, some would want to go back, because not everybody comes here and stay permanently. Some want to just be going in and out. So you should prove to them that you have a reason why you want to go back home. So that is it. And you don't have to use your family member anymore like people used to do before. Because you're coming as a student, you want to leave your husband, you want to leave your child, so that you can use them as home ties. You don't have to do that. You use your properties, use whatever documents you have that can serve as a proof that, okay, you have something that you will draw you back home. You have something that you want to go back home. And besides, your parents are back home, your siblings are back home. There are enough reasons for you to say, okay, you want to go back home. So it doesn't have to be your immediate family member. Remember that when you're coming in as a student, you can only come with your immediate family members. Even as a permanent resident, you can only come in with your immediate family member, that is spouse or your husband and children, that is your nuclear family, not extended. So your extended family is enough proof already that, okay, I can't say because I'm coming abroad, then I will forget every of my relatives. It's not possible. So you don't have to use your children and your hobby as an home ties any longer. Just use your landed properties, your siblings and every other person can serve as your home ties. There are enough evidence that you have home ties. Somebody asked, did Obi did police clearance and medicals? Yes, Obi did medicals. We all did medicals, but he didn't do police clearance because I was coming in as a student. I came in as a student, and as a student, you don't have to do police clearance. The only reason why you need police clearance is if you are coming in with a work visa. If you are being granted work, even if you are here already and you like get a work visa or work permit or something, before you got the job offer, you may have to provide a police clearance. So when you're not coming in as a worker, police clearance is not necessary. So that is why we don't use it. I don't know if you're coming in directly as a visitor, maybe it will be required. But because it came in with me as a student, it wasn't required, it wasn't needed. Someone also asked that, does work visa require one to have gotten a job offer? Yes and no. Because what we did was spousal open work permit. Open work permit does not require you to get a job offer. It is called open work permit for that purpose. You don't need a job offer to get open work permit. Open work permit means you can work for any employer in Canada. The only time when you will need to get a job offer is if you are coming in as a worker, like direct visa, work visa. You will need a job offer. A company must say, okay, they want to hire you, they will give you a job to come and do, and that is the only time you will need a job offer. So in our case, we do not need a job offer. We just got it and he can work for anybody he likes or any organization he likes. Can couples on a visitor visa go for flag pulling? No, you cannot go to flag pull when you're on visit visa. There is a way, another way entirely to change your visiting visa to a work permit when you do not have your spouse studying, but not flag pulling. So, and the last question, which is like the one I said I'm going to prove, is if you have to, how to change your visitor's permit to work permit without your spouse on study. So like the couples that are coming on visiting visa, like an individual that is coming for visiting and you want to stay back to work, it is allowed now. Initially it wasn't allowed. I think until this year you can't come into Canada with visa and say you want to work. But earlier this year, there is a new law, there is a new rule and every other thing that allows visitors to work in Canada. But that is only after you must have gotten a job offer. So when you come in as a visitor, you have 6 months at a stretch to use. You can't use more than that. Even if you have 10 years on your visa, you can't use more than 6 months at a go. So you can go in and come back, go out, you understand? Just in and out of the country, 6 months, nothing more than 6 months. So while you are in within 6 months, you can search for a job, and if God wants it to be, and you got a job offer from any organization that is LMIA. So the company that is going to offer you a job must be an LMIA company. So if you have a job offer from them, you don't have to go back to your country before you get the work permit. Unlike before that, even if you have a job offer as a visitor, you have to go back home and then get your permit outside Canada. But now as a visitor, you can get your work permit inside Canada once you have a job offer. So that is the difference. Coming in as a visitor without your spouse being on student visa, you can't flag pull, but you can get a job offer and transition to a worker in Canada. But as a student, you can flag pull without having a job offer. It is open. So that is the difference. And guys, I hope you understand this video clear, and I hope this actually clears the air and whatever questions you might have on spousal open work permit and visiting visa.